Hello guys, Ashley here, also known as Ashley Fan, back here with another video. Did you guys miss me? Um, I decided, just a little channel update, I decided when it comes to doing videos that I'm just going to try to put videos together and just make it like one big rant. Because I realized since I don't have the time as much anymore because I am working, I work Mondays through Fridays and I get off at 4 o'clock. I realized that when it comes to the weekend, because I have so much other stuff I need to do for my job, because I work in a kitchen, I work with kids, I have to make sure that I'm getting the right training for working with children. I'm just going to start putting rants together. Like if I do a movie review, I'm just going to talk about 2 movies at one time. That way I'm not just having so much to record on the weekend. I can just get so much done within the weekend. That way you guys have double videos, double reviews, double everything. So today I was originally going to talk about One Tree Hill, which I am. I was going to talk about Nathan in the first video and then do another video about Haley. But I decided that I'm going to talk about Nathan and Haley in one big video. So the picture that you're going to see when I upload the video will be a Navy picture, but I'm talking about them separately. So let's get into it. I have so much One Tree Hill to get into, it's not even funny. I wanted to spend these 3 days just relaxing, but I realized that I still needed to get to upload something. There's just photos and stuff piling up on my phone that I need to make rants about. And if I don't do it, I'm never going to do it. So let's talk about One Tree Hill, because I do have other videos coming, So let's talk about One Tree Hill. Nathan and Haley. Let's talk about Haley, because, a lot of people lately, what I've been seeing, like, on popular opinions, is that a lot of people feel like Haley didn't have enough depth to her character, that it just seemed like her biggest character arc was her being with Nathan. So I want to discuss this, and I also wanted to discuss some things that annoy me about Haley. I probably shouldn't say that annoys me, because I really do. I love the core 5. Like, as much as people hate Peyton and Lucas, I love the 5 characters in One Tree Hill. I love them. And when Lucas and Peyton left, it really felt like the core 5 was split up. And that's what I personally loved about the first 6 seasons, was that they were all together. They were all friends, and they were together. And then after that, it kind of just felt like they just tried to find new characters to bring in and make it into a fake friendship. But I digress. I will talk about some things that, try to find the right words. I don't want to say annoy me about Haley, because I personally love Haley a lot. I'm gonna talk about some things that get on my nerves. I'll say that. Get on my nerves about Haley. So the one thing I want to address is people saying that Haley didn't have enough depth to her character. I am going to somewhat agree. It would depend on what other people mean by depth, but what I mean by depth when it comes to Haley is that out of all 5 of them, I would wholeheartedly say Haley probably had the least. She probably had, like, her storylines never seemed to hang on as much. I won't say she had the least interesting. No, because Haley, I really did like her storyline in season 2. In season 1, Haley really didn't have a storyline outside of just being Lucas's friend. You really didn't know that much about Haley in season 1. Her home life wasn't really talked about as much, but it was, you wouldn't see her parents, but it was talked about. Let me phrase that. They would talk about her parents. She comes from a very big family. Family is everything to her and her parents. She's a Christian. She goes to church and everything like that. You just didn't see her parents. I don't know if they couldn't find the actors to play her parents, so that's why they were just like, they were there, but they weren't there. Her and Lucas had been friends since the Sandbox. They had been best friends since the Sandbox. And I love that. I love Haley and Lucas's friendship. Absolutely love it. That is personally my favorite TV show friendship of all time. I love their friendship together, period. They were friends since the Sandbox. But honestly, Haley really didn't have, because when I first got into One Tree Hill, I just remember thinking, like, so is Haley going to have something, or is she just going to be Lucas's best friend? Because when I originally thought when I watched it was um is that I thought they were gonna do something. They were gonna do a love triangle between Lucas, Peyton, and Haley, because when Brooke was like she was gonna do the rundown of who liked each other, she said she knows she liked Lucas, but she thinks Poodle Girl likes Lucas, and she thinks that Poodle Girl also likes Nathan. And she was like, she do that little jab about not knowing who Peyton likes anymore, when it was like, Brooke, stop, come on now, you know Peyton had fun for Lucas, don't yakking down. That to me just felt like, are they gonna put Haley and Lucas together? Which I would have not been mad at. Honestly, I would have not been mad. I would have had loved to see Haley and Lucas together. They are the only platonic friendship that I would have loved to see become a relationship. Period. I would have loved it. But I am happy that they did keep it platonic. But honestly, they're the only relationship that I would have liked to see become something, because I feel like it would have been genuine, and it would have made sense. Unlike some of these other shows that do it, half the time it makes zero sense why these two friends are hooking up and why all of a sudden they have so much for each other. Like, it was just stupid. AKA Dan and Vanessa. But in season 1, like I said, Haley, she really didn't get anything until she started touring Nathan, and that's when Navy was born. But to me, I feel like season 2 was when they decided we're going to give Haley something, and that was the music. I absolutely love the Navy storyline in season 2. I love the whole tour thing with Haley. But this is where it gets. This is when the hypocritical stuff comes in, when it surrounds this. I realize now more than ever, being a One Tree Hill fan, that it's okay for certain characters to get away with certain things, but other characters can't get away with it. I'm going to explain. Haley was allowed to cheat on Nathan twice. A lot of people seem to forget that she kissed Chris Keller twice. And are y'all forgetting that she almost decided on running away with him to New York? She met this man in the middle of the night, lying to Nathan about where she was, but they get ready to get on a bus and leave with him to New York. But yet, no one seems to really talk about that. Not really. Yeah, we all hated Haley for what she did to Nathan, but I feel like some people just don't seem to. To me, it wasn't about her just leaving and going on tour. It was about her not keeping it real. Like, to me, I feel like Haley did have feelings for Chris. They just didn't dabble on it when she left for tour. Like, I thought they were gonna have them hooking up, but they didn't do that, which I'm not mad at. I probably wouldn't have not liked that, but I thought that's what they were gonna do. But it just seems to me that when Haley did this, no one ever calls her out for it in the show. Like, when she's being her holier than thou self and trying to give everyone advice and trying to put people in their place, no one ever tells Haley that, listen, there's nothing wrong, once in life people are going to be hypocrites. There's nothing wrong with feeling like, okay, great message for wrong messenger. Nothing wrong with that. You should have friends who should call you out on your BS. Period. No one here is perfect. But I think that's what bothers me a lot about Haley, is that they have her act so perfect. They have her act like she's done nothing wrong. Like she's done just nothing wrong. And like, when Lucas caught her out in season 4 for kissing at somebody that wasn't her husband, I'm thinking like, yeah, that's clock it. You're gonna check me about kissing somebody? Didn't you kiss someone who wasn't your husband? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Don't ever try to clock me when you've done the exact same thing. And worse, I might add, you were married. So stop. Like, it's stuff like that bothers me about Haley. Like, no one ever clocked her about that, except Lucas. Lucas is the only person who clocked her about that. But it surprised me that in season 5, when she was giving Peyton all this advice and trying to correct Peyton and, trying to be the voice of reason, Peyton never told her that, Haley, you done the exact same thing. You were in the exact same situation that I was in, outside of it not being a love triangle. But AKA, you did cheat. Kissing is cheating. If kissing is cheating for Lucas, then kissing is cheating for Haley. I do not care. I am so tired of people trying to come up with excuses for these characters. They do it all the time. I see it all the time every time I get into it on TikTok. You got people who say, oh, with Nathan and Haley, it didn't matter because it never happened again. It happened twice with Haley. And with Nathan, we're going to get with him. We're going to get to him because it seems to me the blatant double standard between Nathan and Lucas is so real that it's not even funny. It's crazy how much shit Nathan gets to just get away with because people like him more. With Haley, I would say what annoys me is that she just tries to act so perfect around everybody, and that it just seems like no one is allowed to call her out for all of her BS. But to me, I feel like with Haley is that her storylines never ever were consistent. I think that was the biggest thing with Haley. In season 2, I love the Taurus storyline. In season 3, I love the stuff between her and Nathan. I did. I liked everything in seasons 3 and 4 with her and Nathan. Haley didn't have her own personal storylines again until season 5, 6, and 7. And then that was it. In season 5, she's dealing with Nathan and, him being like a little bit emotionally detached and him and everything. And, she kind of got to find a nanny. She's got to work. She's got to take care of their son. And, I love that for Haley. I did like that for her. Just seeing her emotionally distressed and just seeing her like not being kind of able to hang on, but she is trying to hang on the best that she can, which I thought was really good. The stuff with Haley in season 5 was really great acting by Bethany and her and James, especially James. Oh my God, James in that wheelchair. I feel like James was always such an underrated actor in the show. I've always felt like people overlooked his acting because I feel like it wasn't as strong as everyone else. But to me, James is such a great actor in the show. And especially in season 5, it was just really good stuff with him in a wheelchair. Like, it was really good shit. Like, I don't want to dive into it because I'll probably start crying. But the scene with him and Jamie by the pool when he said Daddy is sorry, that scene really hit me. Like I said, we'll start crying. It really hit me just to see Nathan, the music and everything that they play in the background for that moment. I think it just made everything 10 times more sadder to me. To see him finally stand up and hug Jamie and just say sorry for being terrible. It's moments like that. It's moments like that that makes you realize why you love One Tree Hill so much. And those moments stopped after like season 6. But I said I wasn't going to do it, but then I ended up doing it. But y'all get it. I don't think a show has made me cry as much as One Tree Hill. Actually, that's not true. Walking Dead. I would say Walking Dead is like a close second. But yeah, I think with Haley, I would say Haley did have depth, but it wasn't as strong as other characters because I just feel like I think they just gave up a lot on her storylines to me. In season 5, she had that. She was working with Peyton on the music business stuff, which I did like because music was always a big part of who Haley was, and I did like that. In season 6, she's touring. She's a teacher. I did like that too. I've never understood one season 6, but I will get into it when I talk about Brooke and Sam. I've never understood why they didn't just have Sam join their family. It didn't make sense to me that they would have Sam and Brooke connect. I didn't like Sam and Brooke. I didn't like it. I will get into it when I talk about her and Brooke, but it really probably won't be long. But I am going to try my best to explain why I just didn't feel the dynamic. Sorry, I got my coffee. I feel like it would have made a lot more sense to have Sam move in with Nathan, Haley, and Jamie. It just made a lot more sense to me. But whatever, I guess. Don't do that. I would say outside of the tour storyline, my favorite Haley storyline probably had to be when she lost her mother. I think Bethany was delivering great acting stuff. It was really good. It was really intense to see Haley really just go through all the stages of grief of losing her mother, and it really hit you. You know, a lot of things really did get to me. I really felt for Haley, to see Nathan be the one to just, trying his best to, I don't want to say trying his best, him being there and being a great husband, them having that great snow trip at the end of the season. I did love it. Her telling Nathan that she's pregnant, him saying that he feels like that it's always her keeping the family together, and that he just feels like he's not a good husband sometimes because he doesn't try as hard to do it. But like she said, you're a great husband, and I agree. Nathan is a great husband. It was good. I did like season 7 stuff with Haley, the depression stuff, the stuff with Nathan. The writers kept trying. The writers kept trying to find these stupid storylines on Nathan cheating, and they just never seem to work because they're always stupid. Especially the season 7 storyline. The season 7 storyline was really dumb. Like, I personally just didn't get it. I didn't get it. It's stupid. It dragged on way too long in my opinion. Like, we all know Nathan did not sleep with that girl. So what I would say in closing about Haley is that I personally like Haley, but if you had to ask me to like rank the characters from least interesting storylines to most interesting storylines, I would probably have to rank Haley last. Because Haley really didn't have a lot of interesting storylines in the show compared to the others. And as much people want to hate on Lucas and Peyton, Lucas and Peyton had great storylines in the show. Outside of like Lucas being in the love triangle, Lucas always had really great storylines. In season 1, when him finding out that Nathan was his brother, Dan, all of it, great shit. Him finding out that Karen lied about Dan not wanting to be part of his life. Season 2, finding out he has a heart condition, moving in with Dan. Like, Lucas always had great storylines. Most people want to try to hate on him. We're not going to do that. He always had great storylines. Clock it. We're going to keep clocking it today. Peyton did too. Most people want to try to hate on her. She had great storylines. Great, great, great. Brooke really didn't start having great storylines until like her adult years. Yes, I said it. Who's going to clock me? Y'all going to hang me? No. She really didn't have good. Brooke really didn't start having great storylines until she became an adult. Because in the first 4 seasons, she was a plot device in season 1. I did like the stuff with her wanting to be, more than a party girl. Her trying to be class president. I did enjoy that. In season 3, she really didn't have like her own personal storyline. The whole storyline with her in season 3 was Lucas. I guess you can say her trying to build the Clothes of the Rose brand, which was cool. Didn't hate it. In season 4, I personally hated Brooke. In season 4, her character was hella inseparable to me. Hated Brooke. So to me, honestly, Brooke didn't really start having good storylines until she became an adult. The stuff with her mother in season 5, clock. The stuff with Angie in season 5, clock. I didn't like the stuff with Sam really, but I understand it's part of her journey. I love the attack storyline. Clock it. I think they dropped that storyline a little bit too quick for me. They could have kept that going just a tad a little more with Brooke, the attack storyline. I'm not gonna get all of it, but honestly, when I say adult Brooke, I really don't remember anything after. Me personally, with One Tree Hill, I don't remember anything after season 7. Like, I try really hard to remember storylines in season 8 and 9, and I really can't. Like I said, y'all know that Brooke's father came back in like season 9. Like, that was the first time you saw her dad. It's like, I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that. So, like, do y'all know that her company, her company was, like, bankrupt from embezzlement? Her mom stole a whole bunch of money from, like, from co-workers or something to keep the company afloat when Brooke signed over the papers. So Brooke had to basically pay everyone back and sell her company to do it. I don't even remember that. Her mom was in jail. Didn't remember it. Did not remember it. Didn't. Did not. That was all new to me. So I would say with Haley is that I do like Haley. I personally cannot stand how she tries to act holier than down to everybody, but I can't picture her being like the voice of reason. I just wish that when it was in the show that someone, I would say like outside of Lucas, I wish someone else would have just told her like, hey Haley, you ain't no better than nobody here. You done the exact same thing. You cheated on Nathan twice. I understand you being the voice of reason, but you're not gonna get on me and tell me what I'm doing is wrong. When you have also done it. So, clock. That's how I feel about Haley. Haley is when I do love Haley. Like I said, I love the core five. I do. But without having to say in closing that I do think I think it was really hard for them to find something outside of her and Nathan because Navy was just like such a great love story that I think it was hard for the writers to find something for her and Nathan to do outside of each other, which I will agree on. That it just like they just couldn't find them. They couldn't find anything for Nathan and Haley because of how they were so much. Their storyline was so that love story was such iconic. So yeah, that's what I'll say. On to Nathan. Nathan Scott. We're going to talk today about Nathan. I think there is a double standard when it comes to Nathan. I feel like people overlook the mistakes he's made and the lack of how sometimes he doesn't apologize or take no accountability for it. And how when he can apologize and when he does take accountability, it's just like, oh, we love him. But whenever Lucas apologized, whenever Lucas took accountability, which is crazy to me because there was a video on TikTok when this girl saying that Lucas and Peyton never took accountability for their actions. It's like, no accountability. How many times have they apologized? How many times have they admitted that what they did was wrong? If Lucas took no account, if Lucas was that cold-hearted and didn't understand what he did was wrong, when Peyton was mad about what Brooke and Nathan did, when he had told Peyton like they would do the exact same thing, we didn't make a tape about it, but he is right. We did stick behind her back. I mean, we're no better than what she did. But the thing is, why I can understand why Peyton was so mad was because Brooke tried to paint this facade on being like this victim that she desperately wanted to be, that she is no better. She even won the friendship first, which is a lot of fans seem to forget. The fandom seems to forget that they seem to forget that she ruined the friendship first. But she tried her very hardest to make Peyton look like a terrible friend, because if you think about it, how many times did Peyton put her feelings on the back burner for Brooke? That is something that the fans never ever think about. Ever. They never think about that. There are so many Peyton and Lucas deleted scenes on YouTube where it's like they should have kept this shit in the show. They really should have kept it in the show, but they didn't. And I don't know why. There are a lot of deleted scenes, especially in season 1, that should have been kept in season 1. But it's like, how many times did Peyton put her feelings on the back burner for Brooke? Why is Peyton wrong for finally acknowledging her feelings and doing what she wants and acting on them? Why is she a bad person for acting on her feelings? But Brooke isn't? Brooke isn't a bad person for going after Lucas twice, knowing blatantly that him and Peyton had unresolved feelings for each other? She's not a horrible person. But Peyton is, right? Man, y'all funny as fuck, man. The fan base is fucking hilarious. Y'all funny. It's just crazy to me that they said that they take no accountability for their actions. How many times have they apologized? How many times have they tried to make it right? How? How many times? First of all, I'm not gonna fight for nobody for a relationship or a friendship when honestly they don't give a they when honestly they're not doing the exact same thing. I can understand Brooke being mad at season 4, like I said in my video, why I did not like Brooke in season 4. I can understand her being mad because not only did it happen once, it happened twice. They kissed twice behind her back, except for in season 4. In season 3, her and Lucas were not sneaking around. But in season 1, they were sneaking around. It happened twice with the exact same girl. So, I always feel like Brooke was insecure when it came to Peyton. I feel like the reason why Brooke hanged on so much with Lucas was because she didn't want Peyton to have him. I feel like Brooke knew the entire time that Lucas and Peyton had feelings for each other, and she wanted to be with Lucas just to keep them away from each other. No one's gonna stop my opinion on that. I think I even heard Sophie mentioned it. I think Sophie mentioned it in the podcast that she felt like it was really stupid that they didn't have Brooke see. Everyone else sees it except for her. I think she mentioned that. She said she just wished that they would have wrote Brooke to be a little bit more smarter when it came to Love Triangle. And I feel like it's not even just a Brooke thing. I wish all three of them. I wish at the end of the day with the Love Triangle, if all three of them were smarter, a lot of the things that happened wouldn't have happened. And that's kind of how I feel. So I hate when people try to blame it all on Lucas and Peyton. It's like, no. All three of them. And last time I checked, a love triangle is 3 people, not 2 people, honey. Not 2 people, honey. 3 people. Brooke is not innocent. She's not innocent. At all. At all. I got a video about her coming out too. The video about the next about Brooke, y'all, her fan base is gonna hang me by news. They're gonna probably try to get my YouTube channel deleted because they're gonna hate that shit over it. I'm just tired of people acting like she's like this Virgin Mary or like she's never done anything wrong, and it's like she's not. She's like she's this God and they worship the ground that she walks on, and it's like no. Every character has made mistakes. Every character is not perfect, but it seems like when it comes to certain characters, people are allowed to get away with shit. Which brings me to Nathan. Sorry I had to go on a side rant, but Nathan Scott. Like I said, whenever Nathan makes a mistake and he does take accountability for it, if he apologizes, it's good. It's good in the hood. Everybody forgives Nathan. Everyone is jiggling with Nathan. But it's the complete opposite with Lucas and Peyton. They're treated like they got a motherfucking disease when they do something wrong and they apologize. People treat them like they got fucking coronavirus. Nathan. Where do I even begin with Nathan? Honestly. Let's talk about... We know he was horrible in season 1. That's not even... I don't want to talk about that. We know that he was like a complete douchebag, a complete jerk, a complete asshole in season 1 until he got with Haley. I liked Nathan a lot in season 2. I liked his storyline with him living with Haley not being there. In season 3, Nathan really was an asshole to me. Like, I understood why in the beginning, but like, he really was like a douche. Like I said, I feel like he was mad at the wrong person when he, first of all, like I said, the fact that he got mad at Lucas for going down there to meet his friend and to talk to his friend, to me, I feel like that's not your decision to make. It's not up to you. You cannot tell Lucas that he cannot go down there to talk to his friend. And he was trying to help you out. He was trying to get Haley to sign the papers that you lied about, sir. Haley is his friend. So he's allowed to get in the middle of it no matter what. That's his friend. He cares about her. And you're his brother. If you're in trouble and you need my help, how are you supposed to just stand there and watch you be hurting and watch you be in pain? I didn't see him complaining when Lucas tried to help him get his medical bills right. Yeah, Lucas is such a horrible person. Lucas tried to get the whole town to come to a movie theater to help Nathan pay for his medical bills. But Lucas is such a horrible person, right? No, Lucas could have watched Nathan get kicked out of his house, live on the street, But he decided to rally the whole town and get movies in check to make people pay for the movies and pay for the popcorn and drinks to make sure he has enough to raise up for his medical bills. But yeah, he's a horrible person, right? Please. Nathan in season 3, I'm not gonna, he had his, I would say this, he had his asshole moments, Nathan. I can understand why he had him towards Haley because she tried to just walk back and just like, I can understand her fighting for him, but it's like, Haley ain't gonna be that easy, honey. It's not. But I can understand when Lucas is coming from, when Lucas, Nathan was like, he wants to mind your business. No, Haley is my business. She is my business. Trying to play mind games with her, like pushing her back with Chris, I definitely think that was a test. Him pushing her back with Chris, it was definitely a test. It was definitely a test. I don't like it when I go back and watch it. I feel like it's kind of playing games a little bit, and it's like he didn't need to do that to know if he could trust her again. He really didn't. Why are you having her work on the guy who ruined your marriage? Who got in between your marriage? Why are you having her work with him to do music? You can't have her work with nobody else to do music? It just seemed like it was blatantly about, like, testing her. I just understand where Lucas was coming from. Playing games, pushing her back to Chris, you trying to play games or something. Like I said, if you think I'm going to stand by and let you disrespect Haley and talk to her any kind of way, we're going to have a problem. Do you understand me? Do you hear me? Like, period. Like, I can understand a little bit why Nathan was an asshole. I honestly feel like his energy was really wrongly towards the wrong person in Lucas. I honestly feel like he really had no right to be mad at Lucas for going out there to see Haley. Haley is his friend. Haley has been like a little sister to him. Everything. His best friend. What? You lied to me about saying that she signed the divorce papers when you went out there to see her. You lied, my friend. And when she told me that she never signed it, she didn't even knew about it. Well, yes, she did. Dan went out there to force Haley to sign an annulment. Sorry, not Nathan. I got it mixed up. Dan lied and said that Nathan wanted him to come out here so Haley could sign annulment papers. He lied. Haley never signed them. I think, no, he forged Nathan's signature on the papers. Oh my gosh, Dan. I got a bit about him coming up too. He forged Nathan's signature on the papers. Haley never signed it. If I'm not mistaken with season 2, I think Dan told Nathan that she signed the papers. He just never showed Nathan the papers. If I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, please someone correct me. Season 2, there's a lot to remember because season 2, I feel like when she was season 2, a lot of storylines are kind of everywhere. So please forgive me if I said that. But Nathan lied to Lucas when he said that Haley signed those annulment papers. She never signed anything, and he lied about that. She never signed any papers. She said, "I love you" on the papers when Lucas brought it back. So he first, I feel like he had no right to be mad at Lucas because Lucas was just going down there to see his friend. You can't tell me whether or not I can see her, so bye. But let's talk about some of the things that did bother me about Nathan. And honestly, to me, it kind of started in like seasons 4 and 5 when I started realizing that there were things about Nathan that really annoyed me. So let's talk about season 4. With season 4 with Nathan, that I think a lot of people just seem to forget is that why wasn't Nathan in the wrong, or why wasn't he a bad person for basically shaving points? Agreeing to shave points to ruin their state championship, everything that they have worked for, he was willing to sacrifice it because he owed guys money. But he's not horrible for that. The first time they did it, it was a regular game. But he tried to tell Lucas that we gotta lose the state championship. We gotta lose the state championship. And when Lucas told him that, "Are you serious, Nathan? Everything we work for, this entire team, half the guys who want to go to college, Whitey, everything that Whitey has wanted. I don't think Whitey's won the state championship since Dan was there. And you're going to just throw it all away because you have the old guy's money? And, like, everyone would have to say Lucas is trying to be a martyr, but it's like, no, let me, seriously, did you think about anybody else before you did this? Did you? But Lucas was a bad person for telling Whitey the truth. He basically took the blame for it. Haley basically told Lucas to take the blame for it. And he did. He told Whitey that it was him. He basically shaved him. Pretty much. That he shaved the points. That there were some, wait, no, hold on to the further. I got it wrong. Yeah, it was shaving points stuff. Yeah. That he basically told Whitey that it was him. He the one who made the deals to shave the points. It was all him. Whitey said that Keith would be ashamed to see the type of man you've become. Lucas took the blame for him. He took that bullet for him. And you know what Nathan told him when he came into his house? Why would you tell Whitey about the point shaving? Why would you do that? It was stupid. They could have kept it. If he would have never said anything, he would still be able to go to Duke. And now everyone's going to be, now because of that scam, the colleges that he applied to, Duke might not want him. I can't believe how fucking selfish Nathan was being. He took that bullet for you. You got the fucking balls to come in here and tell me why am I being such a martyr? And Lucas said, what about thank you? Huh? What about that? All you think about is yourself. You think about, I understand college and playing basketball is your dream, but it's like, dude, I took that fucking bullet for you. And you got the balls to come in here and tell me why am I being such a martyr? Are you serious? I don't know, maybe because I just took the fucking bullet for you when I didn't have to. I didn't have to do shit. I could tell Whitey, hey, it was all Nathan. That's him. Take his college opportunity away. Don't take my opportunity away from me. Take it away from him. Lucas could have basically just been like, take it away from you. But no, then he had the fucking nerve to tell Haley in the bed when they were in the bedroom when she told him that she told Lucas to take the blame for it. He said Lucas had to go say something. He said, why would he do that? He said he's always trying to be the good guy and try to always do what's right, but never thinking about the consequences of doing that. It's like, consequences? Are you serious, Nathan? You're honestly just thinking about yourself. That's all this is about. Thinking about yourself. And the only reason why he told the press why he did it was because Haley told him that she told Lucas to do it. That is the only reason why he took the blame. It wasn't because he had a guilty conscience or anything like that. He only did it because Haley told him to do it. That pissed me off with Nathan in season 4. The whole Rachel thing, no one wants to talk about how, me personally, I think Nathan was sexually attracted to Rachel. Why are you giving this girl so much of your energy and time? Why? I don't understand why Haley didn't tell, why she didn't tell Haley that Rachel was pulling up on Nathan. I think Haley saw it actually when she saw them talking and everything, and she was like, do you like her or something? Like, the storyline was confusing, and I really feel like they didn't really do much. They kind of just, like, dropped it. Like, why is he walking out of a conversation that him and Haley are having about them having a baby to go meet this girl at her house? What? No one talks about that. But whenever Lucas goes to check on Peyton and try to be there for Peyton, he's this horrible guy, right? But Nathan isn't a bad guy for not wanting to discuss about being a father at 17. He decides to say fuck that conversation and go meet up with some chick who ain't his wife. Okay. But he's not a horrible person, right? To me, I think Nathan was sexually attracted to Rachel, and they kind of just dropped that storyline. When he told Rachel that Haley was pregnant, She just was like, I never saw Keith. She just wanted to rule Nathan in. That's basically what she was trying to do. And I honestly feel like it was working, in my opinion, because I feel like he was like really sexually attracted to her. Why did he tell Haley about the lingerie picture that she left in his locker? Why didn't he say anything? Seems a little sneaky to me. Nathan has had thoughts about cheating. He's flirted with other women. He's given other women his attention. Oh, none of that in season 2. Y'all remember when he almost tried to hook up with her sister? People seem to forget that. He never told Haley about that, by the way. He never told Haley about that. That he tried to hook up with Taylor in season 2. In season 2, they were kissing, and then they stopped kissing, and they said they just couldn't do it. It's like, well, no one talks about that. That's insane to me. That's insane. She's gonna clap her sister's cheeks, which is way worse. It's insane to me. It's insane how much Nathan can get away with shit. Not only that, back to season 4, no one ever talks about how he basically just told Haley that he's going to choose college over raising her son. I will ever be pissed off by how Nathan handled the conversation between him and Haley. I just personally felt like he was just being a complete douche the entire time in that conversation. Like, a complete, utterly douchebag, the way he was just talking to Haley. He talked about how long have you known, a few weeks, and then when she came back and he said you want to go to the meeting with me to Duke, she said she can't do that right now. He talked about, and I don't know, Dan just always had this way of manipulating Nathan. It just seemed like whenever Dan said anything, Nathan just easily believed it. And I think it was because him and Nathan were, they were always together, so I think, Dan was just, he knew how to get to Nathan's head. I wish Dan didn't have that power, but he does over Nathan. Like, the whole time in the conversation, when he talked about my dad's agent would say that, he said, I'm not going to feel guilty by choosing college over the kid. And, like, all it took was for him to apologize over the TV to make up for all the terrible things. His douchebag behavior, that's all it took. But when Lucas, it's horrible. Lucas gets, like I said, Lucas gets treated like he has a fucking disease, like he has gonorrhea, like he has coronavirus. If Brooke would have told him that she was pregnant, and Lucas said, I'm going to choose to be a writer and go to a 4-year college, then be here taking you the kids. I'm going to go to college, and you can stay here in Tree Hill, raise a kid, and I'll see you when I see you. If Lucas would have went on a Tintron and said, on the podium and said that my Brooke is pregnant and I am I'm going to wait to make my decision, people would have been like, oh, that's still not good enough. He still said those asshole things to Brooke. It's still not good enough. But Nathan could just go up there and say he's sorry and tell Haley that he loves her, which was a great moment, by the way. I love that moment. But even like when I go back and watch it now, like compared to when I was like 16 watching it, I just feel like that's all. That's it. Everyone just it's all good in the hood. It's all good in the hood. It's crazy to me. Crazy. It's absolutely nuts. On to season 5 with Nathan. This to me, in season 5, the nanny Carrie storyline was completely unneeded, in my opinion. I feel like they should have just focused on Nathan getting his family back. But crazy to me with the nanny Carrie storyline is that no one gets on Nathan for basically having thoughts about cheating, flirting, getting jealous, having sexual desires for another woman. He lied so many times in front of Haley. When she told him, was there anything more, he lied to her when he said there was nothing else besides the shower. Y'all kissed, He looked at her naked. He got mad when she was flirting with other guys, dancing with them. He didn't tell Haley about any of this. Or how about the fact that she pulled up his pants very sexually, getting on her knees, and he let her. He didn't tell her to get out. He let her. And then in a therapy session, he tells Haley that the reason why he was flirting with her and why he blatantly said out loud that he liked it, that he liked the flirting because she was giving him attention, and because Haley wasn't looking at him like that anymore. They weren't really, sexually connecting. And I think when it comes to women, I feel like when we feel like we have been emotionally distressed and we just feel so detached from relationship, sex is not what is important to us right now. I feel like with men, I'm not gonna say all men like this, or not even all women are like this, but I feel like with some kinds of men is that I feel like they try to use sex as a way to escape what they're feeling. They're rather much bust than talk about it, and I feel like with women, we rather talk than to go sleep around. But I think I do know there are some women who would sleep around. It could be a reverse thing. There's probably some guys who want to talk about it. There's probably women. Like I'm saying, like if a woman is like emotionally detached, there's something in my mind that she probably want to go, get it off with somebody too. But it's crazy to me that in the third session, Nathan admits this, and like it's all good in the hood. Like I said, when I recently just rewatched One Tree Hill, like last year. I only watched the first 6 seasons. I don't watch anything after season 6. It's crazy to me that all it took was a therapy session for him and Haley to have, and like it was all just, it was good in the motherfucking hood. It's crazy. It's shit like that that just shows the impeccable double standard between Nathan and Lucas. And I definitely feel like it was hard for them to find. It was hard. I feel like with Nathan and Haley, that it was hard for the writers to find anything for them to do outside of each other. Like, I did enjoy Nathan's comeback in season 6. It was great. And honestly, I just feel like after that, they just didn't know what to do with them. Like, I don't remember much of what Nathan had. And, like, in season 7, he had that horrible cheating storyline. I don't know what he did in season 8. I know he was kidnapped in season 9, which was just ridiculous. But I definitely feel like I think what held Nathan and Haley back a little bit was the fact that the writers didn't know what to do with them outside of them being this iconic relationship. And it would have just been nice if they would try a little bit more to get him something. But I think with Nathan, they gave him a lot more compared to Haley. Like, a lot more compared to Haley. But I feel like at, like, the first 6 seasons with Nathan, they just kind of, like, gave up with him. Like, they just didn't know what else to do with him. Besides turn him into Superman and, like, he can do it all without any self-destruction. There was, like, it was just, like, he can do it all without any, like, no perseverance, I guess, is what I would say. Like, no perseverance. Like, he doesn't need to grow anymore because he's already accomplished everything already, so he doesn't need to grow anymore. Which is the reason why I just feel like the show just lasted way too long. It just seems like the characters have already gotten everything they wanted. I'm not saying that there's in life there's a lot of in life there's plenty more time for you to keep growing and keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. But I feel with the characters in One Tree Hill is that they have accomplished so much that the happy ever afters and their happy endings, it just feels like it already happened in season 6. The only person who really needed to be there was Brooke. Brooke was the only one who didn't dare have an ending yet. They could have did that, and honestly, in season 6, they could have just made that into like they could have did like a 5-year jump or something, and just showed us that she got married and had a kid. Because honestly, it wasn't worth 9 seasons to watch that. It really wasn't, and honestly, it felt kind of rushed anyway, which is why I'm going to talk about her and Julian. Like, a lot of that just felt kind of rushed anyway. So, what are my thoughts on Nathan as a character? I personally love Nathan. I love him as a character. But I don't like the blank criticism and the double standard that surrounds his character. Me personally, I have always preferred Lucas over him, in my opinion. I always feel like Lucas, when a lot of people like to choose, and I think the reason why people like to choose Nathan over Lucas is because he probably never cheated on anybody. And I just spoke with Lucas that it's crazy to me that people hate him because he cheated. When honestly there was so much to Lucas. He was a great friend. He was there for everybody. He always tried to make situations better. He tried to, like, Lucas, I just liked his story more. I liked his story. I liked what he had to overcome a little bit more. I was just always a Lucas girl. Always. And I always will be. Um, so, yeah. That's how I wanted to make a video about Nathan and Haley because I was thinking about it for a while. And I never got a chance to really talk about Haley, who she is as a character. But I definitely feel like Haley, a lot of her storylines were just slept on. And I definitely feel like with her and Nathan, the writers just didn't know how to make them exist without them being in a relationship. And I wish they would try a little bit harder when it came to that. But yeah, I did want to talk about in the podcast with them saying that Lucas treated Peyton horrible in season 5. And I'm gonna say right now, that is not true. That is so untrue in season 5. He did not treat Peyton horrible in season 5. I've already made a video about the whole proposing thing. Me personally, I feel like Lucas was not wrong for walking away. If your relationship is not progressing, it will degress, and you two will start to resent each other. We're going years without talking. We're going months without talking. You know, they even try to say on podcasts that the proposal was a way of trying to manipulate Peyton into saying yes, which I think is ridiculous. And the only reason why they would think that is because they're these feminists now. He never once told her that we had to get married right here and then. What is wrong with Lucas feeling like Kim and Peyton are missing out on what Nathan and Haley have? What's wrong with that? You ever look at relationships and just feel like you want that too? Like you want to be happy? And it was very obvious that Lucas wasn't happy. He wasn't happy with the position that they were in. You know, long distance isn't for everybody. They tried to make it work as long as they could, but I just think Lucas just couldn't take it anymore. He wanted to be around her more. He needed to see her more. Me personally, for me in a relationship, I need to see you. I need to be able to touch you. I need to be able to talk to you face to face. I can't do that long distance shit. If we're in a Zoom relationship, I'm not gonna do Zoom. No, you need to be present. That's it. I feel like he's not wrong for Peyton said no. She made her decision. She regretted it for years. But I just feel like it's crazy to me that he is being seen as the villain when no one talks about how Peyton coming back to Tree Hill and coming back to fight for him and coming back there to make her music alive. She just felt like this is where she started making her music. This is where she needs to continue making her music. It's crazy to me that no one ever calls Peyton out for confusing him. And looking back at it now, I just felt like I feel like she just took no accountability for confusing him. And no one ever called her out for like, well, actually no, Haley did. And you know what? That's the only time I'm deal with Haley. That you said no, she said yes, and you came down here and now you're confusing him. You know how indecisive he is, and you're confusing him. Now he don't know what he wants. This whole time he hasn't seen Peyton. The last time he saw Peyton was when they broke up and he asked her to come down for the book signing. When she didn't come down for the book signing, she assumed that him and Lindsay were already together, which they weren't. Him and Lindsay didn't fall for each other until like a couple months after that. I'm pretty sure if Peyton would have came down to the book signing, I'm pretty sure they would have rekindled their relationship. That was her fault. She chose not to show up. She chose to not be there. Lucas should never be seen as a villain for moving on. I don't think he was. Unless I didn't like him and Lindsay, I don't think he should be crucified for moving on and trying to find somebody that he can build a future with that wasn't Peyton. I feel like Peyton was in the wrong for confusing him. As much as I am a Layton shipper, and I will forever be Team Layton. Team Layton till I die. But I think she was a little bit wrong for confusing him. Period. She know that Lucas is very, very conflicted when it comes to his feelings. very conflicted, and I feel like she was wrong for confusing him. She was wrong. She was kind of mean to me. What I mean mean to Lindsay is what happened? What episode was it when she said she just don't like her? Was it? I think it was after episode 6. Yeah, I think that's when she told Haley that she just don't like her. And you know what? I can understand why. Because me personally, I wasn't buying Lindsay's being like, oh, let's be friends and things like that. It's weird to me that she felt threatened by Peyton, but she didn't feel threatened by Brooke. What makes you think that he wouldn't have hooked up with Brooke if he had the opportunity? Brooke is his ex. And like I said, for you to ask him if you to be worried about us, it's like then maybe you should leave. If you feel like you feel threatened by two exes being down here, I'm like, maybe you should leave. I don't know. I'm trying to tell you. I really don't. You should go. Bye bye. That's how I would have taken it. I think Lindsay was an idiot. And you know, in the library scene, I feel like what a lot of people seem to forget is that Lindsay started that fight first. They were chilling, just sitting there in silence. Mia trying to figure out the beat for her song, and then out of nowhere, Lindsay's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Peyton is a bitch. She called Peyton a bitch. So Peyton being Peyton, she like, this bitch trying to call me out my name. I'm gonna hurt her. She talk about your fiance proposed to me with the same exact ring. How's that for you? How's that for oranges and apples? Don't ever call me out my name when we're just sitting here in silence trying to figure out how to get out of here. Lizzie started it. But I think Peyton called her like rich and like her daddy's gonna be able to get her out. And like she talked about my dad died and were you there when I had to unplug him and everything. Peyton didn't say anything horrible about her father. She just said that she knew that Lindsay was rich. So I don't understand why she's crucified for that. What I say was that did she take it a little bit too far by saying Lucas proposed to her with the same exact ring? Yes, but I think Lindsay deserved it because she called her out her name. Don't call me no bitch if I didn't say shit to you or do shit to you. Don't call me on my name. Period. Or you're going to feel the wrath. I love Peyton, and I've always felt like I have to defend her because she's like extremely overhated and like just extremely overhated to me. And it's crazy that in season 6 they revealed that she dated someone else, which is like I feel like they didn't need to do that with Julian. That they really had to say she moved on. It was just like it kind of just went a little bit in season 5 storyline with her just like being like completely heartbroken over losing Lucas. It kind of just ruins it by saying, oh yeah, she did move on. Not saying that she wasn't allowed to, but it's like we were told this whole time in season 5 that she was completely heartbroken by losing him, that she couldn't love anyone else. She tried to fill the void of losing him with music, with friends, and living in LA, but she just couldn't enjoy it because she missed him. She missed him, she loved him, and like she was completely heartbroken. And it's like, oof, that's one. I think that's the one thing about being in a relationship for a long time. When you've broken up with somebody, it's like, oof, Peyton had the blues. So yeah. So don't say that Lucas treated her horribly. It's like how? By telling her straight up that I flew down to New York. I said, no, I flew down to LA to actually marry me. You said no and I moved on. Why haven't you? He is not wrong for telling her that you need to, I don't know what you want, Peyton. You say no in LA and then now you're here, you're talking about that you made a mistake. It's like, all you had to do was say yes. That's all you had to do. Yeah, I understand they were 19. People younger than them get married every day. That's not an excuse. I think Peyton, to me, I think the reason why Peyton said no was because she knew that she wasn't happy either with the position that they were in. That's why she couldn't say yes. She really wasn't feeling long distance either. She just didn't know how to admit it. in my opinion. She just didn't know how to admit it. That they both weren't feeling long distance. She just didn't know how to admit it. She knew if she would have said yes, it would have made things 10 times more harder. And even he said that he could move down here, that way they can be together. He could find a baseball, he could find a basketball league down here and do that and do his writing. He talked about, you will resent me for moving you from Winter Hill. I won't. I'll be with you. It just seems to me she had excuses. And that's why I love the scene with them and Trick. You know, like we were talking about, it was a toxic scene and everything. It's like toxic. They're finally getting everything out that they had held in for 3 years. For 4.5 years, sorry, 4.5 years, they were finally releasing it. The book, her throwing the books at him, I don't think that was like she wanted to hurt him. I think it was just like, how can he say these things in the book and just like move on and walk away? But it's like, that don't mean that he didn't feel things. That don't mean the things that he wrote in there wasn't true. It's just, I don't think Lucas should be crucified for walking away and trying to find out what makes him happy. And that's how I feel. I think everyone's trying to make him feel like he was terrible for doing it, but I think everyone can admit that if they were in his actual situation, you walk away too. I know that I would. I'm not afraid to admit it. I know that I would. If a guy proposed to me and we've been together for 5 years and he tells me and I tell him no, and the very next morning he walks out and he leaves a note saying that he thinks it's best if we go our separate ways, and I'm not going to be mad because I know that I lost the best thing in my life. Me saying no probably was the end of everything, and I just didn't know it then. And Peyton, I don't think Peyton knew it either. I don't think she took what Lucas was saying seriously about the long distance shit, and she lost him because of it. So that's how I feel. In my opinion, Lucas did not treat her horrible. I think that's just them trying to be a little feminist on the podcast. But other than that, that has been my thoughts. This video was really long. I have some things to go off my chest, so please do not hate me. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. Have a good Memorial Day on Monday, and I'll see y'all next time. I have more reviews I'm going to do. I'm probably going to do another one right now if my tablet is not dead. See y'all next time.